Hi there, Yang here. We're gonna talk a little bit about the Ascent Combat Framework, especially pointing to framework to get a little bit clearance in this. We're gonna take a quick look at the preview of the light version. This is the light version, and you also have like a professional or a pro version that has everything in it. So, like you see, it's multiplayer support. You have melee and ranged damage logic in it. It's got a flexible AI framework, but like I say, it's a framework. This is basically a collection of events, predefined events and functions that where you can build up your own game basically on a fast, easy way. The framework is also depending on gameplay tags, so it's mainly based on the gameplay tags logic. So here you can see this is a simple inventory and equipment system to show you how you can do it. In the end, you need to do it by yourself. There's a complete documentation that is a little bit less for the package it is, but that is a little bit historical because he released the framework, let me say, between 1.5 and 2 years ago. And yeah, it directly became a hit. So you also see if yeah, on YouTube, but if you go on the store page, that he cannot catch up with the questions and everything to support you guys in a good way. Therefore, he has his own Discord channel. So if you really need to have information, you need to be on the Discord, not on the store page or a forum or whatever, because Pask is a coder, so he is constantly fixing and improving everything. Like now, for example, there's a very big update coming, the 1.4 update. Hold on, why you don't know that I don't want? And yep, like so. Okay, I'm going to now quickly. Okay, so the ACF combat framework. What can you do with it? You basically, this is a very strong, powerful collection of nodes, components that you can use in your game. What type of game? I'm not gonna say any type of game, but like for example, RPG kind of games, it's perfectly possible. Survival type of game, shooting type of games, it's perfectly possible. You start with a sample project where you have like what you saw in the video, where you can look in, where you can examine separated elements of the framework, how you need to really set it up. If you pure going to follow it from the sample project, I would say that is not the best idea. The sample project is created to be a sample and then to be an example. Some parts of the plugin is also to provide you with information and basically what you need to do. I will explain in a little bit. So for now, we're going to go over how we can buy, for example, when we go to the marketplace and you type in ACF in the search window, you will come to this where you see the light version and where you see the first version. So this is basically the original version. Later on, he created the light version. You can see it is not an asset that you can buy a 1, 2, 3 most of the time, and where you need to have a little bit of thinking. Do I need it? Is it good for me? Because if you're going to spend like 400 euros and in the end it's not what you think it would be, then it can be painful. Okay, so to get this out of the way, is it easy to learn? That also depends a little bit about the skills you got, you know. If you already are familiar with working in the Unreal Engine and working with assets, for example, or complete projects that you need to hook up together so you can create your game, then okay. But if you're just a starter, then you need to approach it completely differently. So we have a light and we have a full version, let me say. So we're quickly going over what is included. I will start in the light version and then explain what is not included in the light. So you have a generic character controller. It comes with an action system. It comes with a melee and range combat system. So basically a combat system. You have curve driven animation system. Then it comes with an inventory and equipment system. This is all, like I say, predefined functionality that you need to hook up to each other to get your own result based on examples from inside the example project. Okay, so we were in inventories, then the statics and the RPG framework, the combat collision manager, then you have a cinematic camera manager, you have the targeting system, you have a complete AI framework that includes AI groups and companions. So that is everything that is in the light version. What you're missing in this case, when you're buying the light version against the full version, will be the combined animation system and executions, the mount system, crafting support, the spell, magic, and ability system that comes with it, the level streaming wrapper, and a music manager. To be honest, I didn't test everything at the moment because it's a big sandwich to start off, and it's not something. Sorry, it's not something you're gonna do in 1, 2, 3, and don't be mistaken. Especially if you're going to, yeah, if you're really going to use it in your own project and only have like the sample project for references, let me say. Okay, we're gonna then once you decide, I can understand price wise, but if you really do price wise and you want to have the full version but you don't have the money at the moment, I will say wait until you have the money, because yeah, 100 euro, I don't know how it is when you first buy the light version and later decided to buy the full version, that you need to see with POSC. So okay, you decided which one you want to buy. You know the procedure to buy assets. You just go buy it. Once you're bought the system, the first thing you need to do before you're going to download the sample project and everything else is send a verification mail to POSC. So why you need to do this? Like I say, the Discord is basically your support platform to go if you need help, if you need information. So if you just go into the Discord to just look before you buy, you don't see some channels or rooms in the Discord. So for that, you need to have the verification. Once it's valid, then you can start by asking questions in the proper support channels. So then once that is done, you then go to install, launch the launcher, let me say. Then you can go back to the marketplace and do the same thing, or you go in your library and search for your Ascent Combat Framework. You click on it, and then you come to the option to install it to the engine, as it is a plugin. So then you click install to engine, second window pops open where you can then select your engine version, select between 24 and 26. Okay, then once that is done, then now in the point of view of a new project, not the sample project. So point of view, new project, create a new project. It doesn't matter. In this case, I will think about I'm using a blank blueprint project. You can perfectly do blank C++ project. It doesn't matter. You create it. Once it's created, open it. Then normally here on the right side you get a button asking you to open the plugins. If you didn't, or if you already closed that, then you go to Edit Plugins, Install Plugins, and then you will see the Asset Combat Framework unlinked. Then you just click Enable, restart the editor, and at this point you will have the plugin installed. What will come is the setup, and the setup requires some thinking how you do it, but depending a little bit on your knowledge also, it comes all a little bit to your own skills, because yeah, I could be talking to a person at the moment that is only doing like designing, no coding or whatever. So blueprints is something, but in this case, you are a starter. This is visual. This is not really absolute starter. Is people that maybe come from Unity or CryEngine or totally never done anything and are going to start on Unreal, and they buy the light or the pro version of ACF. So they basically need to study the engine plus the framework at the same time. What maybe is not a bad idea, because you then have directly everything to you, and instead maybe advanced user, he already knows things in Unreal. He starts with the framework, but because he knows already a lot, it can sometimes maybe fight each other, your knowledge, and that's for everything in this case. If you start learning stuff from YouTube, and most of the YouTube things are unfinished stuff, so you start learning, and in the end you're like, oh damn it, man. So no, here these are the starters. Then starter, same thing. He is knowing Unreal, and start with ACF. So these are basically three low level degree people in this case. Then you have the advanced, so that will be people that are from the beginning, let me say, with the framework, and that already know a lot about the engine plus the framework itself. This could be a C++ or Blueprint. And then you have the experts that are really people you can ask stuff to, and then if you ask it it will be the correct answer you will be getting from these persons. Again, it can be C++ experience guys, or Blueprint, or both. Then, if you sit between absolute, oh, hold on. If you sit between the absolute starter and the beginner, then, in my opinion, it's wiser to use a sample project and modify it, study it, break it, let smoke come out of it, and really that you get the hang. Delete it. For example, if you break it, you can always unzip it back and redo everything. But remember, the setup is not something you do in 1, 2, 3. Let me be very clear about this. If you like shown in most of the videos where they go like a startup project and add the tags and copy it from here and there. No, I speak if you're really going to use it in your own project and you really need to start by building all the blend spaces and everything from scratch before you really are doing something. It takes some time, and especially if you want to do it correctly, as you will see in the upcoming videos how the correct way of doing it is. Okay, so then, like I say, you need to study, very important. Go look at available tutorials, starter tutorials, I would say. Check them all, because it's not that I can say like look at Mighty Mouse one, that is better than One Leaf. Nope, they are all the same. One is explaining more in a tutorial kind of manner. The other one is speaking and then explaining some advanced techniques he want to share with you. So yeah, and also I can only say, if you are one of the persons using the Ascent Combat framework and you want to share how you did stuff, the Discord can get messy, to be honest. If you need to really search for something, Discord is not really optimal platform like for example a web page or a website where you, or a forum where you can really maybe keep a section only for those things. And then, like I say, the documentation, it's there, and yeah, you can get a feeling about it, but don't expect you that the documentation has a clean example, for example, like example code, how you can maybe do something, or a good explanation of what some nodes do, or some functionality do, or how do you need to go, or what functions you need to achieve something. That is not. But like I say, it's a little bit from in the beginning. He created it. The effort was there, but due to the population of yeah, the instant hit, let me say, he has no time to do it, and he is only focusing on getting you the best coding thing you can have, and fix all the problems. Okay, so then, from an advanced, the flow. So basically, people that are already advanced in this, they know perfectly what they need to do. Then, once you enabled it, of course, the first thing you need to do and want to do is take a look at that sample project. At the moment, it's the 1.3 version. They are working, and it will be a massive overhaul or change, like I see if I read the comments in the stock page. So, but the procedure will be the same. That's why I'm not going too deep at the moment in this series. we will start on the basics and everything, and then explaining how you can use everything. And then once the new version comes out, we will then see what is really changed inside the plugin and the provided sample project. So once you download the sample project, then you just unzip it to a location as usual. Then once you unzip it, you need to build the project and regenerate the project files, but it is mentioned normally everywhere. Then you launch it. That is the first thing, you launch it. Then you go study a little bit the project, open the docs, read it a few times, watch the available videos. Then if you're doing it from a clean, fresh project in this case, then to see the plugin, you need to go inside your content browser, and then at the bottom you have your view options, where you then can enable show in the engine content and show plugin content. Otherwise you don't see the inside of your plugin, and you don't see the assets available for you. Then a good thing besides the documentation you get and the videos is inside the plugin directory itself. You can type docu, and then you will see docu character, actor docu, and everything. These are dummy classes or blueprints that hold certain elements. One is maybe the statics component explained, and then you have the nudes, what you can use for that. Okay, how you need to connect those together. You then need to go inside the sample project, look at what you're searching for at that point, and look how it's built. But I can assure you, you will be missing stuff, because if you're going to use the workflow like they use in the videos, it's wrong. Then you will come to some issues in the long run, I think. Okay, so then, like I say, use Discord. Then once you study the framework by the docs and the examples, and have the basic knowledge means I can create a new project, I do the setup, and I start doing my own thing. So that is a little bit that you're not doing it perfectly and everything. That is okay, but you know what you're doing. That is basically the basic knowledge. And then, like I say, everything also is a little bit a personal thing. It's the way you personally organize everything, and some prefer, for example, having the plugin inside the project they're doing. Some they just do run the plugin directly from the engine content. Same for using the sample project. You can use it direct. So basically just unzip the project, the sample project, and start by creating your things up on it. You can create a new project, and you can migrate elements from the sample project into your, or you totally don't use the sample project and you do everything bare metal from scratch. But that is for the really experienced people, because if you're gonna do it purely from creating a blank project or whatever, a new project, enable the plugin and start building the data tables and everything yourself, it's a lot of work. I did it, and you can perfectly do it. as long as you know what you need and then which files you need to modify, let me say, because it's not only by copying and migrating stuff. You always need to see that your references are pointing to your project and it's not pointing to the sample project or directly to the plugin project. So yeah, there's in the next in this one I try to visualize a little bit. So this is the plugin in the engine directory. Like stated, do not modify inside this directory. Why never modify something directly in the engine plugin directory? Basically, very simple. When you do something and next week an update will come out, you lose everything you did because the update will override all the files. Okay, so that is why some copy the plugin into the project and then they work from there. I keep mine most of the time in the engine. I most of the time also create a blank project and I use the sample project only as example. Okay, that is how I most of the time use it. But you can perfectly, like I say, just download, build upon the base. You can use this as an example and you can I do it, but I don't see the logic. Basically, the logic in creating a blank project and then going to migrate the complete sample project into your project. I don't see the logic behind it, to be honest. Then start from the sample project and, and instead of creating a new one and copying everything over and just start from this one then. If you only want to have like for example, I want the mount system. Okay, then you go inside the sample, you right click on the mount sample map and you migrate it into your own project and then you modify it to your needs by adding the horse or whatever animal you want to write. Okay, then like I say again, then this very important support, join the Discord, then the docs, then in the upcoming videos we will look at the framework, but I keep on pointing framework as it's not like the action RGB. It's really yeah elements you have a toolkit you're well having and you just need to learn using the tools to get to a proper result. Also, proper result. What does that mean? If you're new, you don't have a lot of assets, don't expect to make a AA game, for example. If you don't have quality assets, quality animations, it's, yeah, you already hear it. Quality is end result more quality. If you have like poor things that you not even can make a complete blend space, then it could look very silly in some ways. Okay. Um, in the beginning, I will maybe first go over the sample project a little bit because I'm not going to do the Mighty Mouse and One Leaf and TC guides, and they already explain everything. So if you want to really go in depth on the statistics, how you need to do it and everything, then you better watch those. We are going to only go over it, and then I will show you things that could go wrong when you work like they show you, and I'm gonna show you the correct way that is normally the way you need to use the Asset Combat framework. Okay, so we will be going over creating a project, and then and this is the basic stuff. I'm not going to write my own. We're gonna use what we got in the plugin, and we're gonna use what we got in the sample project. Okay, and then same like here, we will keep the sample project as a reference, but you can use it as a starter project or double. Okay, so at this point I'm gonna stop the video here, and we will continue in the next one, because otherwise it's gonna need to keep them a little bit short. So I would say thanks for watching, and then we will see you in the next one. Okay, bye bye.